All right, I wanted to follow up on this NIHD chart. We made a video and sent it out last night. I said I liked it over 820. I thought it might retest and break out. Okay, so I drew a horizontal line here just to show you what we did in chat with it today. We did nothing. It did make a run right up to 820. I wanted it. Actually, our trigger price in chat was 822. A little bit arbitrary, but look what happened. It went to 820 early. The market held on for a little bit at the open, and the market lost it, and NIHD lost it. Now the daily is, well, it's in a range here now. It's a little bit less interesting to me than it was. Let's get rid of these lines real quick here. And you're just in a range now. Okay, so still this should be kind of on everybody's back burner, on your radar. If we ever get up over this range, I could still see 10 getting in the picture, maybe 10 bucks. So that's a nice move from here. It's less interesting to me now though, and the SPY is down for a few days in a row, so we'll see if SPY holds 144 area tomorrow. So what did we do in chat today? One of our all-stars, Shady is his chat room name. Trying to get him to change that name, because who wants to trust somebody named Shady? But anyway, notice BHI early. Now BHI, we've been watching this one for a bounce for quite a while. If you look just a few days ago, it's just been red, I don't know, 3 straight weeks. Finally found some support, and then so today when it gapped up, I'll show you 5-minute candles here. Shady was all over it. Basically called a break of the 5-minute high with a stop below the 5-minute low. His entry idea 44.26, stop 15 cents below, and look at that, it was off to the races, and it ended up getting almost a buck. Went up I think about 90 cents from there, and never even came close to the entry again. So love those kind of trades, because once they trigger and never look back, you don't have to worry about ever losing money. Shady also called Owens Corning OC around 30.42 today, which was right about there on that green arrow there, and the stop was about 20 cents below. Now this doesn't look like much of a move because of this big gap here. Doesn't look like it moved much, but from 30.42 ended up going up $1.21 at its best from there, and pretty quickly went up I don't know, 60 cents, and then went sideways and kind of grinded higher. So that was another great call. B Turk, one of our members, one of our all stars, called SQQQ, which is your way to short the Qs. Called it right about there on that red candle. Natural stop would go right there. The entry call 38.16, and the stop about 17 cents below. And you can see from 38.16 it got up through 39. So another great one there too. I wasn't exactly on fire today. Now my best idea was, let me try that again, SRPT. Okay, right after the opening 5-minute candle, I gave a verbal idea. I said over the microphone, because this next candle, which I'm not showing yet, was starting to climb, and SRPT is already down 3 days in a row after that huge gap. Told everybody, let me try an arrow instead of a line. Told everybody that a break of this red 5-minute candle's high as a long could certainly work. Typically, that's not how I play a bounce play, but I kind of made an exception for SRPT because of the push down, and it was coming right back up. And look what happens when it breaks this candle's high. Wow, right? The break of the 5-minute high was around 32.90, right about here. And I mean, within 30 minutes, it's almost 35. So that was a huge trade. Love to be able to tell you I got it and I didn't. I am not a fan of trading the first 15 minutes. I still spit out ideas that might work for aggressive traders in the room. And that was a real good idea. What else did I call today? WLL, not the best call, but I called WLL right about there. Went sideways for about 15 minutes and then gave us a decent move from there. It never stopped out. But this, looking at this chart, I'm not real proud of the entry whenever you call something here, right, after it's just made, this kind of a move. But it wasn't even on my radar until I spotted this volume right here. And I liked what I saw, I liked the daily chart. So when I saw that, I was comfortable grabbing it here with a stop. Actually, my stop was right below this green candle. So I got some money out of that, but again, it doesn't feel like that. that much of a professional entry. I also suggested WPRT right above this base. You had an early high here, and then it hit it again, and then it put in this this little base right here. Okay, and my idea was, that's not what I wanted. My idea was over the high of the day. In other words, right about here. It wasn't an official call. I just pointed it out to the room, and that did climb for the rest of the day from there. Reason for the call. This has been really strong. Had two red days down in a row, and then a nice base right below the high of the day. That's a pretty good recipe for a bounce play. I also mentioned CLF, which had really strong volume at the open, and a nice push higher. And then you kind of have this little flag pattern here. I mentioned CLF as a long over this little candle right here. And the stop's going to go below that candle. Let me get the drawing out of the way. And over this candle, so the entry 42.71, within 5 minutes, it's up, I don't know, 30, 40 cents, something like that. About 40, 45 cents within 5 minutes. And that was a nice little trade, but it didn't follow through after that. Went up a little higher. As always, we always scalp the first chunk, and I try to get to a break-even stop as quick as I can on the rest. And what else do we have here? Oh, one other thing, and it's kind of an interesting trading method or chart setup, if you will. Red Hat, RHT. Let's try that again. Red Hat looked like this, right like this. And I call this setup shape into the 200. Now, what does that mean? All right, if you connect the tops of the candles, this is definitely getting shape. I mean, it's almost straight down, kind of accelerating to the downside. You don't want to just dive into something like this, but when you do get something, when you get this kind of shape with 5-minute candles, running into the 200-day on the daily, you'd be surprised how often that yields a nice bounce. Now, I didn't. All I did was type in RHT shape into the 200. Got sidetracked, started watching something else, but that was literally right about the low of the day, and it did give a nice bounce. Again, doesn't look like much, but from under 53.20 to over 54 over the course of the next 30 to 40 minutes or so. And that's not even a trade I took, but just kind of an example of some of the things we look for. That is a pretty solid setup. It's something that anyone can use in your trading. As if you ever see that shape into the 200 on the daily, usually a pretty nice bounce there. Also mentioned, and I didn't get a trade out of this either, I mentioned PAY sneaking up on volume. Came out of this base, gave a little flag, and look at that, it gave a huge boost there, but that's another one I missed. Anyway, hats off to Shady, B-Turk, and the other All-Stars. Kind of had my back today when I wasn't finding much, but I did find a few things that were worth trading. Overall, though, pretty boring day. After the initial sell-off here, you can see that that the SPY, or the market itself, whatever you want to call it, really just went into pure choppiness the rest of the day and closed at its lows. So anyway, should be some really nice looking setups for tomorrow. I'm getting ready to go look at a bunch of charts right now. I'm pretty optimistic about tomorrow morning though. All right, have a good night. We'll talk to you later.